Folks, I'm going to try this again. I've just done an entire weather video. It's just not going on. So it's turning it off. It's done it again. Fuck. It says it's on. So I don't know what to believe here right now. So let's see if we can make this happen. It's not showing the video. Here it is. Okay, great. Right, New Zealand, big heads up. Here comes wintertime, starting here, right about here is when the snows should begin to fall. They're coming on, I believe it was Tuesday. New snow's coming in for the passes, so watch this. Got a lot of geoengineering action going on. Big triangular cloud popping up all over New South Wales. Obvious geoengineering of these thunderstorms you're experiencing right now. I was already done 10 minutes of live with squiggles and everything, and it turned the video off. See this little red dot here? It means I'm live. Well, that was on. When I decided to look at my phone, it was off. Folks, I'm going to try this. Well, that's good. At least the volume's working. Yeah, it's very frustrating when you're a targeted individual on the internet, just trying to give people a warning because you care about them. And you don't want nobody out there with bald tires, summertime tires on wintertime roads, right? You need to know about these things. Or maybe you get some land out there or something. You want to make sure they stay warm. Well, there's a day you're going to be needing to realize when this cold air that's running at about 98 below zero at 10,000 feet, 9,000 feet, going over the top of your country, you're going to be damn feeling some winds. You're going to be feeling some cold. And you see the snows there right up on your passes, right where your most important roads for being able to, logistics even, for getting people back and forth is through these passes here, right? These features. And people that don't understand New Zealand don't realize how important Arthur's Pass is, right? Well, when there's a proposed highway that's wanted this direction here, right, it's easy to get people to ask for that. Put some of our tax dollars over there, big smother. Yes, while they geoengineered you to death. Yeah. I often asked who does this. Right? It's well funded by private corporate interests, right? The usual suspects that try to make money off of things, right? Corporate interests. Like if you're going to put aluminum in this guy, imagine Alcoa Aluminum will want something to do with it. And if you're using photovoltaics or any carbon black in this guy, imagine Konica Minolta will want in on that. And IBM Business, International Business Machines, the toner, dust, yes, that's needed. Yeah, well, don't forget about photovoltaics, like ground up pieces of lenses that they throw down in the sky. Or how about the diamond dust experiments in the sky, or the making of the aluminum hydroxide, which clouds up the skies like a milk looking, when they added bicarb to the sky, all proposed by this Harvard club of murderers. I have no other name for them. Yep. Look at these winds bearing down on this coastline here. Just absolutely trashing these people. Yeah, Chevron, you watch yourselves. You Texaco car, get ready and batten it all down. You got about 4 days before you're going to cop it out there. We don't want no problems for any of those people out there that are working really hard to make a living for their families. And then this is not going to fuck off because there's nowhere it's going to go. It should be aiming right back down at the coast. And if this map don't show it doing that, then I'm expecting it to. So I'm going to actually stop it there because it's not doing what I think it's going to. So that graph means doo-doo to me. How you doing over there, Double? Enjoying your lightning show? You want to see some of the geo conditions? Be happy to show them to you. Kiss cock getting the lightning show 26. The temperature's going to be dropping at night, ain't it? I bet you've been feeling it in this area right about through here. It curves a bit. There's a dip in the land there that holds pockets of cold really well. Well, did you notice that in the weather plane just briefly there, like a diamond shape of lightning storm? Even they know that it's not going to be circular anymore. Circulation, Circle jerkulation is when they're pulling your chain about shit and lying. Yeah, well, big chem storm blowing up the coast all the way through the day tomorrow, as expected. And yeah, there's going to be some really heavy lightning along the coastline through that corridor, Sunshine Coast, through Brisbane, Goldie, and all that. So be watching for it. And the wind's blowing on shore should lead to some fair decent surf coming up, if I remember it right. Some of the wave action, it was pretty decent. Where is it? Yeah. Come on, let's have some surfing music while we do it. Yeah, really decent. Like I said the other day, though, this is just the waves here coming up towards this area, Byron, and that'll be like Karen, all that firing up here. But it ain't gonna be as good as it is down here through cars. As I said, get your ass down at Beardsley Beach. You'll get it good. And the decent swells are going to be as we go through the weekend, moving northwards, right? And that there's a good swell on top of the regular waves. There's leading quite some action through here. Yeah, that right here. Right here, right here, right here. Have some fun. There's fun to be had over a monkey jacket. So from the direction the wind's coming in, I think I don't know the lay of the land very well, but I'd say over here, there's some great thing over there near Seal Rocks. Get your ass out, Seal Rocks. That's where you're going to want to go surfing. And you got time to get there. Go have some fun. And we got to show the fun, right? Have I ever led you wrong on that? Ooh, New Zealand, look at your surf day here. Big rocky shorelines to dash your boards on that day, I'll tell you that. You had those 4 meter swell onto those 5 meter waves, and guess what you got? You got fun. Like the Beach Boys put it. So let's go back to showing you your forecast as well, because it's the fuckery here has been fair non-stop. And I'm going to run you through a few more days of your storms. So we're back to Monday, right? When you're about to get your clobbering. Yeah, the geofuckery continues. Bomb. Yep, just for you. Yeah, New Zealand have it. You don't believe in geoengineering. It could kill you anyhow whether you believe in it or not. Yeah, so it's a good thing I do. But why do they do this? Because we let them. There is no other answer than that. We will not do what is required to motivate Private Piles. So he eats the donut and you do the push-ups kind of a thing going on, isn't it? Yep. Now, what I think about that, boy, that's quite a few hours of roaring winds over there affecting the western coastline of New Zealand there. So there's going to be at least 2 tide cycles where the tide tries to get out and it can't. And then right up New Plymouth, and it's going to split the volcano field, which puts a lot of pressure over here. So the wind's roaring on this side of that mountain when this low comes over is going to be quite dramatic. So again, batten down the hatches, here it comes. I'm not going to go too much further than that because my hand will start to hurt. So let's watch the continuing pummeling of the northern part of Australia that's undergoing another Landocane looking storm, where they recreate the dynamics of an ocean storm where warm, moist, down low, which they'll say it's evaporation, which is correct. There's so much water in the soil over there. All you got to do is change pressure, make it pressure lower, moisture will leave that. That soil will go back into the air. So I heard that excuse, and that's correct. But where did that rain come from? What is wicking the moisture into the air as well and holding those condensates? Are they hygroscopic materials that draw water into themselves? Like drying crystals you put in a bowl to keep your mildew down in closets and basements. That type stuff can go in the sky, Those are aluminum salts will do that. Magnesium salts will do that. Salts. If salts of the earth are a big, putting them on the land really screw up natural crops too. How's the salinity of your soils doing lately? Can you blame it on the ocean mist if you're in the middle of the desert? No, you cannot. So if it's coming from the sky, it's coming from these guys here. This stuff, these nasties down low, nasties up top. One layer of the atmosphere, another layer of the atmosphere, another layer of the atmosphere. We got like 5 layers of different cloud dynamics going on here. See the square and the squiggle here? It's all being done with explosions. Boom, boom, boom. Then take a left, blow one off, do, 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 do. And the swirling percussion ring will hold the edges, won't it? Come on, you explosive people that do all that kind of stuff. You know I'm right. But please confirm it. Use your heads. Help us. Help us with your head, rather than having us butt your heads. This is not a circulation, and as this square went over the top of the cloud deck that was there, it began to storm very violently through this area over here near Tennant's Creek, and this was about an hour ago. See how it went one way? This storm is moving this direction. Why is this cloud going due west over here? Right? Everything is going this way. That flow is run. It's been forced. That's why it's a beam. See the eyebrow beam through here? That's got to be a mimic. If what I'm suspecting is correct. They changed the flow, because the flow across your country wasn't going that direction until a beam changed things. So I gotta go look. Here. There's the heater. Right here, I saw the heater on. Right there. There's your beams. Right here. You see these striation lines here? They go straight across and down. That's a big device doing it. This heated things up here really is going to trigger these here. I'm not seeing that eyebrow beam that I was expecting. Come on, we don't make evidence up, do we? So I don't understand how that happened. It cross flowed. Everything was moving one way and it moved the other. This is backwards. This is forwards. See how that's moving that direction with its plume spreading out? Why did that cloud go north to Tennant Creek, go the other way? It's going in two directions at once, see it? That's the chem bombs in front of it right here. Look. See it? That's geoengineering right before your eyes. That's not natural cloud formation. It's a center point, and then lower altitudes, there's something else is exploding, because that's falling down. Like a flower of death falling toward the ground. Enough of those falling toward the ground. You'll end up with these big nobule-looking clouds called momatis. You know, that's how I suspect they're done, after watching your guys' picture show me momatis and then going here and saying, well, how the hell did they do that? Yes, we see what you do with the big triangle cloud here. Come on, that's not natural. There's some really obvious geostorms out here today. If you look over here in New South Wales, there's some wickets going on. Was it right about here? Stanthorpe and Tenterfield. Look at this triangular, this plume right here, like a diamond shape. They couldn't make a circle, but they get the dynamics using squares. See how that's a coil with sharp edges, like you bent cardboard, trying to roll it up? But that's what that looks like, don't it? Look at it. Tell me I'm wrong, that what I'm looking at isn't that. Squares moving squares, and a square can create a circular motion. Squares can create square waveforms. Yep. Ever see a square bumping out on a shoreline, the waves coming in and echoing back across another wall across the way in a jetty or something? It would make a square wave. Look at this fall out here. Boom, boom, boom as it went. This isn't flat across the top of the sky, you know. That's something really high up and it's deploying downward. Look at the ice crystal refraction making red. So that's quite the properties that these ice crystals have. Big square out here in the ocean, and this is COFs. This is where the big surf is coming. And again, I gotta say, there's a very devilish looking look to this. If I get Mr. Squiggs out again, you'll see what I'm. Do you see it? Do you see the magic circle they're making? Yeah. What is here? What is this? What's this shit? What's this shit, Miss Sky? What's this? I didn't finish driving for you. What is it, 21-12 today? We're going to play Rush? Come on. Don't you see it yet? Don't you see what they're doing to you? They're doing dark magic on top of you because they're trying to harvest your souls, I think, because they're a bunch of blood-sucking politicians that do terrible things. If you're on that Epstein's list, That girl on the floor. Did you ever study had an acting class at high school? And Stanislavski method of acting says your thumbs were in towards your palm when you're dead. With that girl in those pictures going around, her thumbs are in. It's something I noticed. There's a bunch of murderers that are worried about going to jail. So they'll jail this whole planet to keep from getting caught. Look at this toxic gases over the top of this beautiful Gondwana rainforest. Now, you think this weather is natural? Think again. Rethink. Well, you expect the news, which is sponsored by the people who do this, to ever tell you what the people who pay their fucking salaries are doing? Non-disclosure acts and this and that. The newsreaders ain't reporters anymore. All you are is just a bunch of read what the fuck you're told. You poison the whole goddamn world with your advice. Yes, you did, and it's not forgotten. It's not forgiven. It's for God to do. I won't. Look at the waveforms going through here. Ripples in the sky, man, going two different directions. It's not going to help the whales' navigation. As a matter of fact, that might cause them to beach. They might think that that's echoing off a coastline somewhere else that they think their map says shouldn't be there, so they're going to make a turn. There's heavy EMF on that island, actually, and that usually precedes a beaching. What a shame. Big V over here. Look at Tassie, just fucking shit stain. Boom, 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 boom. Every one of these is plumes. Every one of these. None of that is a natural weather formation. Look how this one's moving north and then curls and then does that. Just look at that. See it? See it yet? See the big picture yet? That straight is black. Look at the EMF over here. The plasmoids in the sky. Evidence of a plasma attack on New Zealand. Yep, the exact EMF attack. You gotta do the do, man. Doing the do. This is backwards. This is forwards. And the low just died in an EMF field. And then it's dark over there. Darkness. Which helps me a lot sometimes so I can see the cold fog and stuff on the low deck. I can tell where that's occurring, which is nice to know. And this will be your last daytime image you get of us. All these smears of crap, shit that's falling out, and is leading to terrible storms over here. Look at this over Newcastle, Maitland, Singleton. Not right there. And give the best details. Like a step saying. And that's over the top of that one, with this one over the top of that one. So you ended up like stacking biscuits on top of each other going across the table. And where the biscuits overlap each other is where you get your highest electrical. It also squeezes the cloud a bit and you get a lot more piezoelectrical static releases and such. Because that's just how that works. And Tenterfield, come on, look, what does that look like? Look at a bottle, having cans over there, bottles over there, and then the bottle. Hey, Casino, big #1 over the top. I don't think you're feeling like winners. There's a chem bombs over the forest. These beautiful, beautiful forests over here. If you ain't never visited here and seen these forests, do it. Make it bucket list. And go to Stoker's site and say hi to Nolan then for them. Have your lemon sliced. They're real nice. Yeah, good chocolate malts too. But try not to spill. I can't resist. Tenterfield, boom, boom, plumes. Right, all over the top. These beautiful forests got points. And a whole lot of lines pointing toward one spot here. Wouldn't you say? Could there possibly be a radar over here? I would say there is. Whether it's listed on the BOM or not, I don't care. I just see the signature in the cloud top. Well, you don't have to see the gas coming from the acid. If you smell the fart, you know what happened, don't you? Look at 6 right there. So let's continue along. Here's some of what's to be expected here. This thing continues to just devastate the northern territories. You know, when you want to build back better, you should destroy what was there. Right? Isn't that what seems to be occurring an awful lot? Yeah, it's still alive. We're having a lot of trouble with connections staying. Okay, good. Let's see if we can get this up until it goes. Because we want to see this go away, don't we? We want this storm to so go away. I'm not jumping that. And it's still there. And it's still there. And it's devastating. And it's still there. And it goes off the coast and it kicks more rain in. Still there. Still there. Still there. High. Let's go here. There's not much place for this to go. They're telling it's going to go off, and I don't see how. Because there's so much EMF going off this coast here. There's nowhere it can go. You see this beam line here? You can see this double lines here. Two. See that? There's nowhere it can go. It's running into an EMF line. And the storm's rather wide. And that right there to there is about 300 nautical miles. So it's about as wide as that storm is from center to side. When it comes through here, there's no room for it to go out to sea, so most of it's going to stay over the land as it goes. And it looks to me like the path is taking it back inland area right about here. So we're going to watch this never-ending story of this geostorm that just won't go the fuck away. Right, thunderstorms, New South Wales. Are you paying attention? Pay attention. Yep. You got a big event coming. Yeah, we're seeing some terrible, terrible totals. They're still being listed, and all the dynamics are there. Right? I have to, before I call something, I got to see the dynamics of geoengineering. I say it's possible, or I'm going to disagree with this windy that graph that I use. Those are pinned right along the coast, so you got to be very careful during your overnight hours tonight. If you hear that noise, and you don't live next to a tree trick, that means you got a tornado. Whether it's on the ground or not, it's calm. It's there because that's the wind is rushing so fast there. Actually, those are small sonic booms you're hearing. That's what that noise has been determined to be. They got lots of vortices and mesovortices inside these cyclones. They call them mesocyclones, but that would be different in different hemispheres, wouldn't it? Because the way low and high pressures spin opposite directions after you cross this equatorial boundary of this planet. Oh, it just ain't going to go away. Okay, because that's the beam here that did that. Why did that happen? I asked these questions. Is that because of this heater here that went on? I'm going to do a quick map. Right, that's why. See the big beam comes down? It's all the way through here, look. It's actually changed direction and gone up there. There's a ship here that did that. That beam was done right about here. Is that Lord Howe Island? Why? Why is it? Oh, there's why. Okay, we got an eyebrow beam. I could pick, just picked it up right here. Let's flow first that way. That's why. That's shut. Why are the storms staying on the coast tonight? Because you got a mountain range here, and you got EMF peaks over the top, making that taller. Holding that layer of 10,000 foot layer of very cold air off, so these things can then be free to come here. So the passes are going to get quite windy. Yeah, in and around like Mount Warren and some of these places, I expect it to be quite windy. Where did that come from? Here. You have a device. There's an island here. And it's got a device at it. And it pulsed here. I'm assuming it's a bit right. Yeah, there's not another one here. If there was another one here, I'd say it caves somewhere else, but there's not. I don't see evidence of that. On here. That's a flow boundary then. So the cold air can then go through that gate to feed the backside of this storms here. This is just basics of geoengineering. There's a big drawing device here. It has gone all the way out to sea here and all the way across. Take my word on it. I've already analyzed these images. That's why it went up there. Is because it hit this gap. It had nowhere to go. All your flow in green. Cold air came in and it went up like that. And it hit this gap here. It says I can't go anywhere else. It has to turn towards the coast. Yep. EMF controlling the flow. That's just how that works, and that's just what the fuck has happened. Like, period. And one of these people with PhDs is meteorologists going to act like they know some science for a fucking change. I mean, really. Geoengineering is going on, and as part of your meteorology is to learn about it. University of Wisconsin-Madison, why don't you go to school there? They do this kind of stuff there. They report a lot of our geoengineering stuff. There's some of the best data in the world about EMF usage, and X-rays come from there in the United States. And I look at them all the time. Yep, I just don't report on the weather there because I get sad. I think of Mike Morales and another freedom fighter that passed away. They took him and his brother out with the same type of cancer, and they all died in the same year. Very, very tragic. I feel sad for his wife. The kids are okay. I have trouble covering the weather there since because I miss them. Dungog. Magog and Dungog. Hey, you guys getting done, huh? How was those storms coming through? You got another big batch coming through here in about 45 minutes. What was this booty? I see something said booty up there. I saw the word booty. Hang on, let's see if we can get it back out there. There's booty. Booty. Oh, be one mighty wet booty. Wet booty for you there. Are you the cutie with the wet booty? Have you washed your ass today? Big square over stamped. I'd love to know what device is doing this, because this happens here a lot. It's almost like they put a weather station up, and we don't know about. Look at this cross flow right on the edge of Cuyahoga here. There's a big hill up there in the valley that affects the weather big time. Okay, so at least I understand how the lay of the land there goes. Yeah. Big square over the top of this storm. Just undeniably geoengineered. And it's leading to what I call the terrible tolls. Because I'm not going to be able to do this much longer. My right hand is absolutely aching. It is. Just over the next 48 hours is this, but this is more like 36 hours, 48 hours. It's just the non-stops of this storm. And it's pinned. It's not allowed to go anywhere because the beams say so. They stopped up the Indian Ocean. And then this. He's like, fuck, man, it just don't end. And this is through Tuesday, and it's coming fair quick, actually. Think about that. Some of this is going to be snow, so get ready. It's just a wet, cold summertime with no summer, right? Big thunderstorms cruising about New South Wales tonight, so be vigilant. I don't know any other words for it. Mackay Corridor, they got you slated for some more action coming up, but you got a couple cool days, so just relax. Boom. Nothing. SpaghettiOs, kind of a thing coming on overnight hours and through Wednesday afternoon and night. So, we got more to deal with. We got lots of geoengineering to confront. But when they litigate things, I'm going to show this document again. It's called the CIGA 111. Geoengineering Governance Document. You can find this thing very easily. Center for International Governance Innovation. And you'll come up with this document. And I'll give you a link to it. This is your proof that chemtrails are real. This is the proof of that they have sat down for years and years and years and had meetings about geoengineering. And now when we say there was a joke about Mr. Burns wanting to block the sun on The Simpsons, well, the person that writes this article, and they're very pro reflecting light into space, is a man named William C.G. Burns. And he wants to block the sun. He's a senior fellow. But he's not a nice fellow as far as I'm concerned. And well, sometimes two smart fellas smell farts. Yeah, page 13, you'll see an article about sulfur aerosol ejection. Remember when we said the sulfuric acid rain was a bad thing? It was defoliating the Ohio Valley? Well, They say potential delivery vehicles for the stratospheric sulfur dioxide injection include aircraft and artillery shells or stratospheric balloons, which is what I show most prevalently. And hoses suspended from power. Cambombogenesis by the Russian climatologist. Yeah, well, watch what he says here. Now, there have been suggestions of other chemicals, and I'm going to use the word chemical, because I was told a long time ago not to call these chemtrails, but yet here in 2010, February 4th, which is the anniversary of this document's coming up, 16 years ago, they say they're going to put other chemicals in our sky. They're proposing injecting preformed particles, in other words, those nanoparticles we talk about, of titanium oxide. Titanium oxide, that's a chemical. That's not silver iodide. Sulfuric acid precursors are not silver iodized. In the presence of aerosol, sulfuric gas may condense into pre-existing aerosol particles, in other words, the dust in the sky. It may, it has, and it is. And when your sky smells farty, like a box of matches has been lit off in a toilet room, it's because you've been sprayed, and you've been exploded, and you've been boomed, and you've been plumed. And here's some proof of that right here. Right there. Right there. All right? Stay safe. Only you and you alone can make up your mind about this. But God's watching all the time. If what I'm saying is true, would you want this to happen? God's listening. I say no. No, I do not consent. No, the whales do not consent. No. I cannot say whether you consent or not, but all I can do is show you the truth, and the truth is a very dire situation that's killing off natural forests, natural creatures, and natural life itself by making us inhale stuff that changes humans to transhuman things, by adding metals to your body and computer chippy things to your body. It's been going on a long time. Yeah. Oh God, it's a conspiracy. The conspiracy is the cover-up. The conspiracy is the hiding of the doing. The conspiracy is never, ever, ever us showing you something is wrong. Okay? And geoengineering is very wrong. There's not 1 inch of this map here that is clear air. And we need to breathe. Whales need to breathe. And the big whales that are gambling need to lose sometimes. And this one they're going to lose. All right. Say no to geoengineering. We must. Big love. Peace.